Hey guys, what's up? Emo Cat Dad here, hanging out with you. Another Emo Cat Dad listens. That's right. A new day, a new artist that I check out for the first time. You guys have been very kind, recommending new artists to me. So thank you for that. This comes from one of those recommendations, and it is a band called To Prevail. Now, what I knew about To Prevail going in, I remember Baba Yaga blowing up during the pandemic at some point. I don't remember exactly when, 2020, 2021, something like that. It was super popular. I don't like deathcore. So, I mean, I knew this was going to happen at some point. Someone was going to say, check out this deathcore band, check out this death metal band, check out this black metal band. I'm not a fan of it. But, To Prevail had, a big blow up in the scene recently, so I figured I should probably give them a chance, so that's what I did. So if you're new here, what I do is I check out 4 songs, I give you my thoughts, and then I rank them. So let's get right into it. The first song that I listened to from To Prevail was off their first EP, Chapters of Misery, and the song was called Hell. Now, let's jump right into the lyrics here. I didn't understand any of it. It was all in Russian. So I gotta brush up on my Russian, I guess. But other than that, musically, it was pretty cool. And there was even some prog elements, which kind of took me aback. I also really thought the production on this was pretty great, considering it was a debut EP. I'm guessing they must have been in bands before, or had some producer friends that were able to guide them, because you don't hear this from a debut EP very often. Next up, we go to 2017's album Misery Sermon, and I listened to the track Chronic Slaughter, which, has their part of their name in it. So it's almost like a half a self-titled track. On this one, we got a bleh, so that was cool. And right after the bleh was like 2 English lines, which were pretty okay. Nothing special. But honestly, guys, at this point, these 5-minute deathcore songs are starting to get to me. These vocals, the deathcore vocals, I really can't get behind it. I'm okay when it's just screams, but this song in particular had a lot of those deep deathcore vocals I'm just not a fan of, sorry to say. Alright, now let's check out that song that I talked about at the beginning, Baba Yaga. Now, maybe at some point in 2020, 2021, I heard this song. I don't recall if I did or not. I've definitely seen clips, but I don't think I've ever heard the full thing. Boy, was I actually surprised, especially after those 2 last songs. This one's pretty accessible. It's got a great chorus that anchors it. It's a mix of English and Russian, which was cool, as was the breakdown near the end of the song, although the bridge leading into the breakdown was less so. Just like a minute of music with no lyrics at the end as an outro. That's a big thumbs down for me, guys. No more long outros, interludes. We don't need them. Cut the song down to 3.5 minutes and it's great. And finally, I checked out their newest single, Viking. Now, I really enjoyed the intro, despite it basically being music. It kind of sounded like a death march, which I'm sure is what they were going for. That was a cool part in the song. But I think overall, the vocals on the last song was the highlight. On this one, it was the musicality, which more than made up for the vocals, which I sometimes enjoyed, but sometimes did not as well. But also not a ton of deathcore, so maybe they're getting away from that sound. I don't know. You guys have listened to more To Prevail than me, so let me know in the comments below. But enough about my quick thoughts on them. Let's rank these tracks. Try to act surprised. I think based on my comments, you can guess how I'm going to rank these. Baba Yaga is number 1. I understand why this got big on TikTok or wherever it, got attention. Very accessible, not just a straight up deathcore song. Really enjoyed it. Definitely think it's the best To Prevail song I've heard. And probably even, let's go one step further, maybe even the best deathcore song I've ever heard. But again, I don't really listen to deathcore. Number 2 is Viking. I liked more stuff than I did not like. It was kind of a mixed bag in some parts, but for the most part, I enjoyed the listening experience to this one. At 3, we're going Hell off that debut EP. Again, didn't understand a word of it, but that's okay. The music and the vocal delivery, for the most part, was solid, and like I said, great production on a debut EP. And finally, we're putting Chronic Slaughter at number 4. Maybe had I listened to this one first, it wouldn't have been so bad, but I went in the order of the discography, and by the end of the song, I was just like, do I really have to listen to 2 more songs? Thankfully, the other 2 saved it a little bit, but yeah, overall, not a huge fan of this. Alright guys, so that's it. Thank you so much for checking out this video on Slaughter To Prevail. I'm your friendly neighborhood Emo Cat Dad. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, keep the suggestions coming. I will use them, probably, unless I forget them. So if you've suggested something and I haven't done it yet, just keep re-suggesting it. I'll eventually get the memo. This was Slaughter To Prevail. This was day 10. I still got lots more days to go. So if you're new here and you want to follow me on my journey, I would appreciate you doing one thing for me. And that's cut my wrists and hit subscribe. Emo Cat Dad out. Peace.